If you're testing meta ad creatives every single month and you can't seem to crack a winning ad to help you scale your account further, like a lot of people, you just don't actually understand why certain things don't work when you originally created the ad thinking that it would work. Well, in this week's video, I'm actually going to share our entire question list that we ask ourselves internally at our agency, as well as the students in our Evolve program that has been put together after reviewing multiple ads that have spent over $10,000 to $20,000 per day inside of different meta ad accounts. Now, this checklist has been put together to help you really understand what it takes to make winning ads in 2025. With that said, this entire checklist needs to be understood completely, so make sure you actually pay attention to every single step, because if you miss just one or two, you might not be able to actually figure out why your ads specifically are not working. Let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing that I want to mention is that most of you, when you're making creatives, you actually don't even take time to review your ads at all, which, to be honest, is a huge mistake, because right now, if you're struggling to scale your account, what you perceive as a quote unquote good ad is incorrect. Because if you knew exactly what a winning ad or a good ad looked like, and you understood how to recreate it specifically for your brand, then you wouldn't have problems finding winning ads. However, right now, your lens that you're looking through to analyze and create ads, for lack of better words, is probably a little bit foggy. So what I want to do is help you actually see a little bit more clearly why your ads may or may not be working based on proven ads that have actually scaled brands to spending 5 figures plus per day. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into one of the first questions that you need to ask yourself before you actually submit your ad. Now, this first one applies to video ads specifically. However, you can take this concept and also apply it to image ads as well. And that first question that you're going to ask yourself is, does the first 1 to 2 seconds of this video hook in the right user and also keep them hooked into the video? Now, it's a bit of a long question that you need to ask yourself, but this is the most important thing, because what I see so many people struggle with is they just don't know how to make the right hook. So by asking yourself this question of, does the first 1 to 2 seconds, not 3, 1 to 2 seconds, clearly call out or clearly appeal? And that's another thing that I want to clarify. Just because you say, hey, are you a 6-year-old woman, doesn't mean that your ad is going to call out that person. You need to understand exactly what your avatar, or in this instance, that woman, needs to see in order for your hook to actually grab their attention. So again, the reason why this question is so important is because if the first 1 to 2 seconds of your video does not hook in the right user, you might have a super high hook rate. You're just hooking in a bunch of random people. So it is so important to make sure that you hook in the right person based off of the research that you do on them to better understand, again, what is going to grab their attention and what would resonate with them. And then from there, it's important that your hook actually keeps the user hooked in. It's called a hook for a reason, because you actually get the person to keep watching the video, not just to stop. And I see so many times people make great hooks that stop the user to be like, what is happening? But then the hook itself isn't actually engaging enough to keep them hooked in. And that, again, is crucial for you to understand, because your hook has to keep people wanting to watch and not just get them to stop. So what I would suggest that you do is go back and review some of your previous ads, and most of the time you'll probably see that your hook is weak. And a lot of times when it comes to making winning ads, just by changing the hook to grab more attention and also keep that attention leads to way better ad performance and ultimately more scale for your account. So again, make sure you ask yourself on every single video ad, does this hook in the right audience, and will this hook keep them retained? Now, the second thing that you need to tick off when you are creating ads, is this an ad that my potential customer actually wants to see? There are so many times where honestly, we're just making ads that we like or that we think are going to convert and get more sales. When at the end of the day, the best ads are ads that actually serve your potential customer and are videos or images that they would actually want to see. Okay. The best ads are created with the end user in mind and not with what you think is going to get them to buy. The job of the ad is to grab your potential customers' attention and get them interested in learning more about your product or your brand. So if you think from the perspective of what does my ideal customer actually want to see, and is this an ad that they would actually like, or which we'll get to, a video that they'll actually like, that is so important to check off before you actually put an ad into the account. So again, if you are just pumping out videos or pumping out images just because you like them or you think they look cool, you need to really consider the end customer that is going to receive it and ask yourself if that is an ad that you think they would actually like to see on their feed. Now, the third thing that you need to consider is, does the copywriting on this ad create a clear image for the user? Now, this is obviously something that takes some skill when it comes to copywriting, and a lot of you, if you just got better at copywriting, you would get better at marketing in general. With that said, something that is super powerful is in your copy to actually create a visual or a clear image in the consumer's mind. So for example, if I was to write an ad that says cleaner than Mr. Clean, you automatically probably have an image in your mind of Mr. Clean with his bald head and, the magic clean eraser, having something that's sparkling and clean. I didn't actually have to show you an image of Mr. Clean himself. I just had to mention it, and that automatically put a visual in your head, or at least it should have, of what that looks like. So again, whenever you can create some kind of clear visual or something that creates this image in your potential customer's mind, it helps them more clearly understand your product and what it actually does, because it's easier for them to actually understand. Now, the next thing that you need to check off your list is going to be, does this ad feel native to the platform? There are so many times where I see people making really cool ads, but the problem is it's not native to the platform, okay? As we're about to get into, if you continue to watch, making videos that are actually native to Facebook and Instagram just makes sense, okay? You'll see that on TV, there are TV specific ads, yet some of you are trying to run TV specific ads on a platform like Facebook and Instagram. And now, can that work? Sure, sometimes it totally can, but at the end of the day, understand the platforms that you're on, understand what type of content that your consumer is watching, and try to make more content like that. It's very rare that you'll see like a TikTok unboxing style video on TV. And the reason why is because that's not really the format, or that's not really the style for that platform. So you have to keep that in mind whenever you're making ads, is does this actually feel native to the platform? And I think a lot of people do actually do this pretty well with their videos. However, for some of the images that I see some people put together, they completely misfire. And so it's super important that you, again, consider the platform that you're advertising on. And I would also, as a quick little hack, recommend that you check where your ads are being delivered, whether it's more on Facebook, more on Instagram, because then you can start to understand, again, what types of content are going to perform better. Of course, based on the platform that your ad spend is actually going to. Now, the next thing to consider when making a winning ad is, does this video or does this ad in general apply a label to the type of person I'm trying to attract? So again, what that means is that, are you labeling this person, or are you putting a label out there for someone to actually identify with? You see this all the time in different types of skits where it's like the dad who does this, or the girlfriend who does this, right? Those are specific labels that you can apply into your ads to build one of the most important things, which is relatability. So for example, if I was to use a label like overpacker, that is something that you may or may not resonate with based on, again, if you're actually that type of person. An overpacker is this person that packs way too much stuff and has 3 suitcases just to go over for a weekend trip, right? So when you can apply specific labels, you'll get people to say, oh, that's totally me. I'm definitely that type of person. And what that does is it allows you to have a relatability with that consumer. And when you build relatability, you build trust. And trust is one of the most important things, because if you can get someone to be like, oh, that is totally me, and they actually agree with you and they're nodding their head saying yes, then when you go for your next ask or you talk about the next thing, they are way more likely to actually believe you. So again, labels is an extremely powerful way, and I would definitely recommend trying to implement a label or two into your next ad to see how that can perform for you. Now, speaking of labels, this is going to be kind of a part 2 on this super quickly. Is the ad actually relatable? Okay, that's the next thing that you should ask yourself. Anytime you can make an ad that feels relatable, it's going to perform so much better. And how do you relate to your customers? You do tons of research to understand them, okay? There are certain little things and certain little inside jokes that they have, or little terms that they use, that are a part of this little mini community, or again, these specific labels that allow you to build relatability. And if you can make ads that are more relatable, again, you're going to build more trust. So just like I talked about on the label standpoint, anytime your video can be relatable to your specific customer, it's going to help you perform a lot better. So I always tell our team, does this feel like a relatable video whenever we're trying to connect with our potential customer, especially on a problem aware or solution aware level, where maybe people are tired of hearing something, or maybe they've tried this or tried that, because relatability is, again, the best way to build trust. And I would highly recommend to try implementing that into some of your next videos. Now, the next thing to consider when making winning ads is, does this ad actually look like an ad? Now, if you actually hung in there this long and are still watching this video, I'm not gonna lie to you, this piece is so important. I see so many people muddy the waters between trying to look organic and also being an ad, you have to absolutely pick a lane, okay? If your ad looks like an ad, that's not a bad thing, but it needs to be a good ad, okay? So static images, for example, or specific branded videos can definitely work, but they need to be good, okay? Nobody likes bad ads. Nobody wants to see crappy ads. And if you don't believe me, well, consider, for those of you who know about American football, the Super Bowl is one of the biggest events and people literally watch it just to watch the ads. And they do that because the ads are actually good. So everybody thinks that people don't like ads. That's not true. People just don't like bad ads, okay? So if you're going to make an ad, you need to make it incredible. And one of the best ways to make ads incredible is to make people smile. And if you're going to commit to making an ad, make it a great ad. However, if you're going to do user-generated style content, or you're going to do these organic feeling videos that are native to Facebook or native to Instagram, then you need to keep it feeling organic. That style of video or that style of an ad needs to be camouflaged, and it cannot feel like an ad, because as soon as someone gets the slightest indication that this is an ad and this is something that somebody is clearly not being genuine about, you're going to lose trust. And so don't get me wrong, you definitely can get away with this because some people might just see it and be like, oh wow, that's a great product. Okay, I can make the connection. But I'm telling you, if you can get better at making your organic videos actually feel like organic videos, you are going to do so much better with these videos, and you will also be able to scale a lot further. Okay, so when it comes to making these styles of videos, make sure that they feel organic and they don't feel like an ad. To be 100% honest, that is how some of our best students in Evolve are scaling to over $100,000 per day. So keep that secret to yourself and make sure that if you're going to be making those videos that are supposed to feel authentic and organic, that you keep it feeling that way. Which then brings me to the next thing to consider on your checklist, is to ask your gut and say, does this actually feel authentic? Now, don't get me wrong, there are some people and some creators that can act really well, right? We watch movies all the time and we totally believe that they feel that way or that this is how they see things, and it can feel authentic, right? But a lot of the times you'll see these average creators make a video about your product and it just doesn't feel authentic and it feels super forced. So you need to make sure that you ask yourself on every single video that you make, or even your image ads as well, does this feel authentic? And if you ask yourself that question and you're like, this really doesn't feel authentic, then it's probably not going to be a good ad, okay? So at the end of the day, authenticity always wins, and whenever you can be the best version of your own brand, you're going to definitely succeed. And so always ask yourself and do a gut check on whether or not your ad actually feels authentic. Now, the final few ones here I'm going to go through pretty quickly, but this one is definitely one that you don't want to miss out on. And this is definitely more for my brands that are looking to scale further outside of product and maybe solution aware stages. And that question to ask is, does this ad educate the user in a creative way? And education is one of the most powerful ways to actually get people to trust you and also learn more about a product that they maybe didn't know that they needed. And so if you can create ads that actually educate people and help build beliefs and help them understand new things, that is one of the best ways to actually start to scale into new markets and start to get customers who really aren't in the market or maybe aren't even considering or know about your product at all. Because if you can educate them on how your solution is better and do that in an organic video or even in an ad, that is going to help you scale massively. So again, educational style ads are one of the best types of ads to scale further, because you're showing people new knowledge and ideally talking about a new mechanism that can make their lives better. And now the next part of this is, if you're not educating someone, then you need to be entertaining that person. So the question to ask is, does this ad or does this video make someone smile, laugh, or want to share it with their friend? Because if you can create ads that do that, that is how you create what we call the viral factor. And if you can have ads and videos that are organic that technically go viral, that is an incredible way to, again, create winning ads and ads that can truly scale. Because if you have ads that are funny and get people to smile and tag their friends and share it with everyone that they know, that's an extremely powerful ad. And whether you're going full ad mode and maybe making a static with a really bold headline, or maybe you're going down the native organic video approach, at the end of the day, if you can make an ad that is entertaining that people actually want to watch, you're probably going to be able to scale that ad pretty hard. So again, if you can implement some kind of entertainment or some kind of humor into your ad, and I always recommend this to brands that are in a little bit of a rut, is try to just loosen up a little bit. Like, don't be so uptight, don't be so concerned about being on brand, all this kind of stuff. Like, have a little bit of fun. It's marketing. We're on social platforms. We're supposed to have fun. Try to add some humor to some of your ads and see if that can help you crack a winner. And now the final thing that I will say, and this is for all of the brands that are just just copying and pasting whatever their competitors do, is does this ad actually separate you from your competition? And these are the most powerful ads, because if you can make ads that not even your competition can copy because it is so authentic to you and it is honestly only something that you can make, that is one of the most powerful ads that you can make, and for a lot of times is an automatic winner for our brands. And if you're a dropshipper right now, maybe you don't have anything super authentic to you, then what I would recommend is go after an avatar that maybe only you can go after, or an avatar that is not being sold to. And what I mean by an avatar is a specific type of person, because if you're not a product innovator, then you probably need to be an avatar innovator. But with that said, if you can make ads that are fully authentic to you and ads that actually help separate you from your competition, there is no other option for a user who sees your ad to go and purchase from. You are the only option, which is what makes them some of the most powerful ads, and honestly puts emphasis on why you should be focused on building a long-term brand and building a product that actually provides value to millions of people. So with all that said, that is my massive checklist, question list, whatever you want to call it, that we run all of our ads through, and that we also use to review our ads whenever we're struggling to find new winning ads for brands, or whenever our students are coming into the Evolve program and want to learn more about our process. Because at the end of the day, if you're not making winning ads, it's because what you think is a winning ad, again, the lens that you're looking through to create ads, is not actually correct. So you need to reset and you need to start to understand what makes a winning ad. And so hopefully this checklist and hopefully this list of questions to ask yourself is something that you can use to better understand what makes a winning ad, so you can ultimately make a lot more of them and scale your brand further. With that said, if you enjoyed this video and you want more from myself, I actually have a brand new link down below to our free school community where you can get free resources. There is about half of our full paid program inside of there that you can go and check out for yourself. And I always tell everyone, I'm very upfront. My goal of that free program is to ultimately get you into the full one. So definitely make sure you click the link below to go and check that out. If you happen to be a 7-figure Shopify brand looking to scale to 8 figures in 2025, I'd highly encourage you to check out the second link below and head over to our website to fill out the application form to see if our agency can be a good fit for your brand to scale in 2025. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this week's video, and I'll see you in the next one.